Panama Canal, and we didn't give it to China, we gave it to Panama and we're taking it back. What if Elon Musk's next big move isn't in space but on water? As the Panama Canal struggles with drought restrictions and geopolitical tensions, the long-dormant $50 billion Nicaraguan canal project is resurfacing. Speculation is mounting that Musk, with his technological prow and unpredictable ambitions, could be the catalyst for reviving this mega-project. But why would the world's richest innovator take on such a colossal challenge, and what would it mean for global shipping routes, Nicaragua's economy, and US-China relations? The answer could reshape history. For over a century, the Panama Canal has served as the primary shortcut between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, sparing ships the arduous journey around Cape Horn. However, as the canal grapples with climate-induced water shortages, capacity constraints, and geopolitical disputes, a new contender is emerging: the Nicaraguan Canal. Nicaragua, Panama's northern neighbor, is eyeing an opportunity to claim the throne of global maritime supremacy. But is this ambitious project viable, or is it merely a grand vision fueled by lofty rhetoric and deep pockets? The idea of the Nicaragua Canal isn't new. It mirrors the Panama Canal as a proposed maritime shortcut connecting the Atlantic and Pacific. The goal is to provide an alternative route for global shipping that could significantly reduce transit times and costs. With an estimated cost of $50 billion, 3 times Nicaragua's GDP, this venture is nothing short of monumental. But why invest in another canal when Panama's exists? The answer lies in opportunity and competition. The Panama Canal is facing a tough decade with climate change disrupting operations through water shortages, while increasing demand leads to congestion and capacity concerns. Nicaragua, on the other hand, envisions a larger, more advanced canal that can accommodate bigger ships, reduce transit times, and introduce competition in a sector currently monopolized by Panama. In theory, this would not only alleviate pressure on the Panama Canal, but also inject new dynamics into global trade. However, this project extends beyond economics into the realm of geopolitics. The Nicaraguan Canal has attracted the attention of China, a global powerhouse known for its ambitious infrastructure investments and strategic influence. China's potential involvement in funding and supporting the project could establish a direct competitor to the US-influenced Panama Canal. For Washington, the prospect of China gaining control or even substantial influence over a critical trade route in Central America is a geopolitical nightmare. This shift in power could alter global shipping dynamics and grant Beijing a foothold in what has traditionally been America's sphere of influence, further fueling the US-China rivalry. Despite its promising potential, the Nicaraguan Canal faces immense challenges. Constructing a canal of this magnitude requires cutting through 170 miles of land, including Lake Nicaragua, the largest freshwater lake in Central America. Environmentalists have voiced strong concerns over the ecological destruction such a project could cause. Financially, $50 billion is an astronomical sum for Nicaragua, and while figures like Elon Musk could theoretically fund it, the actual investment landscape remains uncertain. Public opinion is another hurdle, with many Nicaraguans skeptical about whether the canal would truly benefit the country or simply serve foreign investors. Protests have erupted in the past over fears of displacement and environmental degradation, temporarily halting progress. However, recent developments suggest a revival. Reports indicate that the Nicaraguan government plans to restart the project in 2025. After years of uncertainty, this long-debated alternative to the Panama Canal appears to be in play. The question remains, will it succeed this time? And even if the project materializes, will global shippers be willing to switch from the well-established Panama Canal to an untested alternative? The revived Nicaragua Canal project is re-entering the geopolitical spotlight, fueled by a mix of economic ambition, global power struggles, and a surprising twist involving Donald Trump, China, and diplomatic maneuvering. Recently, Trump floated the idea of taking back the Panama Canal from China, a statement that, while controversial, sent shockwaves through Central America. This unexpected turn of events gave Nicaragua's president, Daniel Ortega, an opportunity to reassert his own influence. As Panama's canal potentially becomes the focal point of a US-China showdown, Nicaragua saw a chance to capitalize on the situation. Ortega swiftly adjusted Nicaragua's constitution, streamlining the process to grant canal-related concessions without bureaucratic obstacles. China has long had an interest in Nicaragua canal potential. Years ago, a Chinese businessman secured a concession to build the canal, but the plan ultimately fizzled out. In May 2024, Ortega officially cancelled that agreement, leaving uncertainty about whether the project would ever move beyond theoretical discussions. Now, with Trump's rhetoric potentially altering the status quo, China may see an opportunity to re-engage with Nicaragua canal ambitions. If Washington increases its presence in Panama, Beijing could counterbalance it with a massive infrastructure investment just a few hundred miles away. The latest vision for the Nicaragua Canal has undergone significant revisions. Rather than passing through Lake Cabula, the project's new proposed route now centers around Lake Solon, north of Managua. The updated 445 kilometers design would start at a newly constructed port in Bluefields on Nicaragua's Caribbean coast, traverse Lake Zland, and emerge at Coant on the Pacific side. Engineered to accommodate modern shipping demands, the canal is designed with a depth of 27 meters to handle even the largest container ships. As this ambitious project regains momentum, global eyes remain fixed on its progress. Will Nicaragua succeed in disrupting Panama's long-standing dominance in global shipping? Can China leverage this opportunity to expand its influence in the Western Hemisphere? And could Elon Musk, known for pushing the boundaries of what's possible, play a pivotal role in making this dream a reality? The answers to these questions could shape the future of global trade and geopolitics for generations to come. The proposed Nicaragua Canal is designed to accommodate even the largest modern vessels, featuring deep locks and an artificial lake to enhance its functionality. However, the project comes with a staggering price tag of $64.5 billion, a sum that far exceeds Nicaragua's GDP. Despite these financial hurdles, the country's Minister of Transportation, Oscar Mujica, remains optimistic, insisting that the investment will be both viable and profitable. While former U.S. President Donald Trump's remarks about reclaiming the Panama Canal may have reignited interest in Nicaragua's alternative waterway, the geopolitical landscape surrounding interoceanic trade routes has long been contentious. The idea of a Nicaraguan canal has existed since the 19th century, but the Panama Canal, completed in 1914, took precedence. Now, as tensions between China and the U.S. escalate, Nicaragua's strategic location has once again captured global attention. The U.S. has voiced concerns over China's increasing influence in Central America, particularly in Panama, where Chinese companies have invested in ports and infrastructure. However, Panama maintains that its canal remains under national control, despite the presence of foreign operators managing key facilities. Beyond geopolitics, the Panama Canal faces practical challenges, including capacity constraints and freshwater shortages, which have worsened due to climate change. The canal relies on vast amounts of freshwater from Lakes Gatun and Alhuela, but declining rainfall has jeopardized its long-term viability. In response, shipping companies may seek alternative routes, potentially bolstering the case for the Nicaraguan canal. Enter Elon Musk, the unpredictable entrepreneur whose interests span from electric vehicles to space exploration. As discussions around the Panama Canal intensify, Musk has joined the conversation, fueling speculation about his potential involvement in reshaping global maritime trade. Amidst political debates and logistical dilemmas, his cryptic social media posts have only added to the intrigue surrounding this high-stakes waterway rivalry. Elon Musk, formerly known for his ventures in electric cars, space travel, and even flamethrowers, has now hinted at potential involvement in global shipping and canal logistics. His cryptic post on X, 2025 is going to be so lit, left the internet speculating. Was he referring to Trump's bold declaration, hinting at SpaceX cargo ships bypassing traditional canals, or simply trolling? As the CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and other ventures, Musk understands the fragility of global supply chains. A disrupted Panama Canal could ripple across industries, affecting Tesla's production lines and even SpaceX's rocket fuel supply. Speculation is rising that Musk might be eyeing an investment, but whether he favors Panama, Nicaragua, or an entirely new approach remains to be seen. Though Musk has yet to officially enter the maritime sector, his history of disruptive innovation makes it easy to imagine a radical transformation. The shipping industry, responsible for 90% of global trade, is notoriously inefficient and environmentally harmful. Cargo ships burn heavy fuel oil, creating significant carbon emissions, while outdated logistics and fragmented communication worsen inefficiencies. Musk's track record suggests he would prioritize sustainability, replacing diesel-powered vessels with zero-emission ships running on green hydrogen or electric systems, recharging at renewable energy hubs such as solar farms, wind turbines, or floating power stations. His futuristic approach might also bring self-navigating AI-driven ships that optimize routes, avoid congestion, and adapt to weather conditions, perhaps even integrating Tesla's autopilot technology enhanced with Starlink satellite internet. These ships could enable real-time tracking, precise meters, and improved crew connectivity. Beyond shipping, Musk could revolutionize intermodal logistics by integrating high-speed Hyperloop systems, slashing cargo transport times and reducing reliance on fossil fuel trucks. If Musk were to take on the transformation of a canal, expect a high-tech marvel featuring AI-powered traffic management and renewable energy solutions to maximize efficiency. Whether he pursues the Panama Canal, Nicaragua's proposed alternative, or an entirely new concept, his potential involvement promises a future of disruption, sustainability, and cutting-edge innovation in global trade. A potential Musk-led revolution in maritime logistics could go beyond just sustainability. It could introduce ideas as wild as an underground Hyperloop alternative bypassing the canal, a floating canal that moves with the tides, or a fleet of autonomous tugboats named after characters from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But beyond the flashy tech, Musk's focus would likely be on rethinking an industry in desperate need of change. Zero-emission ships, AI-driven logistics, and renewable energy hubs aren't just futuristic concepts, they are essential for a sustainable future. And if anyone can make shipping both better and sustainable, it's Musk. Meanwhile, the maritime world is already experiencing shifts. After years of dormancy, reports suggest that construction on the Nicaraguan Canal is set to resume. If completed, this project could shake up global trade, challenging the Panama Canal's dominance. But Panama isn't about to sit back and let its monopoly be threatened. The country has reaffirmed its commitment to offering safe, reliable, and efficient transit services while keeping an eye on any potential competitors. And Panama's confidence isn't unwarranted. It remains the only nation where ships can cross from the Pacific to the Atlantic in just 80 kilometers. Beyond the canal itself, Panama boasts ports on both coasts, a major air hub, an interoceanic railway, top-tier telecommunications, a strong financial sector, and a growing tourism industry. The canal alone connects 180 maritime routes, serves 170 countries, and links with 1,920 ports worldwide, an impressive feat by any standard. However, the Panama Canal Pilots Association president, Adrian Osa, acknowledges Nicaragua's right to pursue new economic ventures, though he remains skeptical about their chances. Yet Panama knows complacency isn't an option. The real challenge isn't just competition from Nicaragua, it's water scarcity. The canal depends on a steady water supply, and if Panama fails to address this issue, global trade players might start looking elsewhere. Osa warns that securing both the population's water needs and the canal's sustainability is crucial, otherwise, alternative routes will gain traction, much like Nicaragua's proposal. Should the Nicaraguan Canal be completed, a big if, it could transform global trade by offering larger ships more options, reducing congestion at the Panama Canal, and lowering costs for shipping companies. However, this could also trigger fierce competition, pushing toll revenues down and sparking a race to the bottom. The geopolitical implications would be significant, with a Chinese-backed Nicaraguan canal shifting power dynamics in Central America, a region traditionally under U.S. influence. Yet having two canals could also create a valuable redundancy, preventing global chaos in case of disruptions such as the infamous Suez Canal blockage. However, climate change remains a looming factor that could complicate both projects' long-term viability. While a Nicaraguan canal could alleviate some of the pressure on Panama, it wouldn't address the root issue: rising global temperatures and dwindling freshwater supplies. Both canals would still face long-term challenges due to climate change. However, if completed, the project could provide Nicaragua with an unprecedented economic boost, creating jobs, increasing trade revenue, and elevating the country to the status of a major global shipping hub. But with a staggering price tag of $64.5 billion, the financial risk is enormous. Despite these challenges, Nicaraguan President Daniel Ortega seems determined to keep the project alive. And why not? In a world where major waterways are more relevant than ever, aiming high makes sense. After all, if Panama could achieve it, why not Nicaragua?